Kia ora and welcome to another Future Skills Academy webinar. Today we're going to be talking about our analytics for managerial decisions, micro-credential and course content. My name is Rob McClay and I'll be your host today. We'll be joined by Future Skills Academy Head of Department, Dr. Farhad Mehdipour, who will talk you through the micro-credential. We've also got Kavi Sudawal, Relationship Manager, who will introduce shortly, and also Melissa Walsh. So please feel free to type in any questions you may have for Kavi, Farhad or Melissa in the chat box at any time throughout the webinar. Head of Department, Dr. Farhad Mehdipour. Farhad is an educator and R&D expert with over 20 years experience and significant achievements in trending areas of information technology, including Internet of Things, AI, data analytics, cybersecurity, and cloud computing. He has participated in several industry multidisciplinary projects in different countries, including Japan and New Zealand. He is currently Head of Department Information Technology and a Principal Lecturer at Otago Polytechnic, Auckland International Campus and Future Skills Academy. Alongside him, we've got Relationship Manager Kavi Sudawal, who will be on hand during the webinar to answer any questions you might have about the enrolment process. Kavi has more than 13 years of experience in sales and marketing in the United Kingdom, South Africa, and New Zealand. He is passionate about helping students make informed decisions about their intended career paths and giving learners the best chance to succeed in their studies and their lives. And we've also got a special guest, Melissa Walsh. Please introduce yourself. Yeah. Might be on mute, Melissa.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. Well done.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Just have to press the wrong button. Okay. Well, I am Melissa and I am the program coordinator for the IT micro-credentials. So I work closely with Farhad to give our learners the best study and learning experience of Future Skills. I've been with Future Skills nearly a year now. And I'm based also at Otago Polytechnic, Auckland International Campus. That's our other campus that we have here in the CBD. And yeah, that's just to keep it short, Rob. I don't want to take a lot of your time.
That's no problem. I'm sure we'll be asking you many questions going forward. So thanks, Melissa. What is Future Skills Academy? Well, we've been operating since 2001. We're a leading Category 1 training provider with campuses in Manukau and Royal Oak. We also have an international campus in partnership with Otago Polytechnic, Te Pūkenga in Auckland's CBD with programs ranging from diplomas to masters. Our program offerings include health, IT, construction and early childhood. So welcome Kavi, Melissa and Farhad. Thanks for joining myself and viewers today. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about the micro-credential that Future School has to offer. So Kavi, welcome. Tell us a bit more about the program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob. So we're here to talk about analytics to support managerial decisions. This is one of our 3 suite of business intelligence micro-credentials that we offer as Future Skills. So we started delivering these programs around mid last year, where there was a need for micro-credentials in the market, where seasoned professionals looking to upskill or hone their skills in a certain area. And micro-credentials are basically short courses, or short, sharp training in specific areas that kind of upskill you in a certain area and fine-tunes what you already know. Our programs within the business intelligence space are very data-driven. So we tend to work with data in very different fields and industries. So the beauty about this program is quite applicable to a wide variety of industries, as long as you're working within a data set. Also, to support managerial decisions, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a manager to do this program. It's to support any business functions that takes the business in a more streamlined and an upward trajectory. So it's informing decisions that make business decisions, basically, through the use of data and that sort of thing. We offer it in a part-time and full-time mode. Currently a part-time mode to the wider Aotearoa. This is a program that's delivered online, which means that you can plug in from anywhere in New Zealand. It is a blended learning approach, which means that you do have a professional at the other end of the screen. So we have a team of tenured lecturers who've taught for many years and are industry experts that deliver classes in the evenings. So generally, for example, we have a timetable of either Tuesday and a Thursday class from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or a Monday or Wednesday, depending on how we timetable that block. And yeah, so it's convenient online classes that are delivered. It's very interactive. There's somebody on the other end. You're not just left with all this coursework to navigate on your own. You're guided through the program, and Melissa will take you through some of the support structures a little later on. So it's a 30 credit program, and it's one of 3 that we offer within the suite, delivered on evenings and sometimes some support on the weekends, over 20 weeks part-time. We also have the option of a 10-week full-time program. So there is the ability for that, but we would need to sort of put together an entire cohort. So if it's a company, or if you are inquiring on behalf of a company looking to upskill your staff in terms of professional development and have a wider team, we can talk about more customized offerings. So there's a little flexibility in how we can deliver the program if it's specifically to a cohort based at your company. I will hand over, or I'll keep talking until the end of the webinar. So let's break it up by handing back to you, Rob. And I'll jump
thanks,
back in when needed.
Yeah, great introduction there. I'm writing down plenty of notes, and I got plenty of questions. But I quite like the student support part of what Future Skills offers. Now, Melissa, I understand that you've got a few things you want to talk about around student support.
That's right, Rob. So the first thing, regarding our learners is that most of them they're employed full time, which means that they need that extra. There is 24 hours in a day, but sometimes 24 hours is not enough to do the work, right? So what we do on Saturdays, we offer our learners that support that they need. So we have our peer tutor. Our peer tutor, the learner can book an appointment with him or her, maybe for half an hour, 40 minutes on a Saturday morning. And they'll be able to maybe work on the project, answer any questions that they might have after the session during the week. So I think this part of the delivery and this support that we offer is very vital for students that work full time. We also are very flexible. Sometimes the students meet with the peer tutor on alternate days. So if we have sessions on Monday and Wednesdays, let's say, then the student can meet with the peer tutor on Tuesday evening and Thursday evening, for instance. So this really makes a massive difference for a lot of our learners.
Yeah. So just to add to that, Rob, the reason that we do this is we understand that balancing the commitments of work and study may be quite difficult. We understand that people coming into this program may sometimes be entering the classroom or virtual classroom after a long time and require a little additional support. So this is over and above what's being taught in the classroom. If while you're navigating through your classwork, you have a few more questions or feel that you're in a slightly different level to a few other students, we have some support structures available on the side to kind of hold your hand and take you through that. We also have many other support structures. So that's more on the academic side to help you through the coursework, through peer tutors and additional sessions where you get more individualized attention. You may be scared to sometimes pick your hand up in the club, or in this day and age, raise your hand and hit the raise hand button online. It may be a bit apprehensive to ask a question initially. So those sort of things can be covered in the more individualized sessions. And we also have a learner management system called Moodle, where students can access their coursework outside of the hours of class. So as they're navigating around that as well, there's a few questions that they put together they can discuss with our peer tutors. We also have life support, so pastoral care support for those that are struggling a bit with the stress and pressure of study and work. So yeah, we're here to help you through that journey. But what that journey is and what it looks like and what the course entails, I think I'll hand back to you to segue to Farhad, who can tell us a bit more about what's actually contained in this program.
Yeah, over to you, Farhad.
Okay,
welcome, by the way.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Rob, for this opportunity and for the introduction. Yeah, my colleagues very clearly explained about the different type of support that we provide for this program. I'm going to talk about a bit more on the technical side of the program and academic support that we provide So let me quickly share my screen. Is that okay, Rob, if I share my screen? Can you see?
Perfect. Our
Okay.
practice session worked really well, Farhad. Nice one.
All right. So yeah. Basically this course specifically is part of the micro-credential suite for BI and data analytics. There's a second course in the suite, which is mostly focusing on data analytics to support managerial decisions. As Kabi mentioned, this is not specifically for managers. This is for people who want to analyze data and provide insights to the managers to make decisions accordingly. So the idea is that we have lots of different problems happening in different sort of organizations and businesses. We want to identify those gaps, and we want to get data to help us to extract insights, to drive insights, and make some conclusions and recommendations to the managers so they can make decisions. And this is mostly because we want to improve things. We want to improve performance in the systems. We want to improve processes, services. We want to reduce costs. So there are lots of different reasons, and most of these are for improving things. This technology, BI and data analysis, is part of disruptive technology, which is happening in all around the industry in different organizations. So regarding the course structure, it is a 30-credit course requiring 300 of study hours. Part of it happens with facilitator or teacher directed face-to-face, but it's usually online in the evenings, as it's mentioned before. And also we have self-study learning hours, which is like totally 120 hours, and the hours for project work. Interactive activities and project work, mentorship is happening during those hours. And the course is very much project-based. We cover different topics related to BI and data analytics, but the main probably things which is probably interesting for you to know is about Power BI, Power Query. We focus on Excel and different tools integrated into Excel. Data modeling, SQL, visualization, data warehousing, statistical analysis, and predictive analytics and forecasting. These are the main topics that we cover in this course with different sort of technologies, including Excel, Power BI, some other tools integrated into these. Regarding the assessments, because this is an institute qualification, we have an assessment, and this is basically project work. So you need to complete a project in different stages. So we have 3 different parts for the project, as you can see here. So in the beginning, you do lots of problem-based learning with the small activities, and they are facilitator-led activities. And as we go, the project work portion is increasing, and you're spending more time on the projects. So at the end of the course, we will be spending a lot of time with the project work, interactive activities, discussions, presentations, and this is a stepwise and progressive project, and that's usually completed in 20 weeks. So basically, what we do in this course is a review of the data life cycle. It's the pipeline that we have for the data life cycle in several stages. So in this diagram, you can see 6 stages. We usually identify a problem. We want to solve a problem using a data-driven solution. We want to use data. We want to analyze it, and we want to drive insights to be able to solve a business problem. So it's important to understand what the business problem is, what the business gap is, and define the business objectives and understand the business requirements. This might come from the senior management in an organization or company. So they give us some sort of problems to solve, and we need to get some data for this. Obviously, finding data is a challenge. For this course, we don't use the data from companies, which are usually confidential. We have lots of open source data available, so we can work on them on different sort of real life projects. So the next stage is about preparing data, making it ready for analysis. And then the next phase, in phase 4, we explore data and try to model and make different sort of models with our data. And later we need to validate, because what you produce in the step 4 should be validated, make sure that it is working, the idea is kind of reliable, and then you communicate your message and your conclusions and recommendations to your audience. Might be people in your organization or people outside your organization. It might be for public as well. So this is the data life cycle that we go through, and you will be actually walk through this data life cycle during the course. And we have a couple of success stories. If you want me to share a few of them, yeah, for example, Syed, who completed.
Farhad, I've got a couple of questions for you, mate, before we jump into that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So you mentioned something about a mentorship. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, true. So the delivery team actually consists of people who are coming with academic experience, facilitators who are running the sessions, and also industry professionals. We have a couple of our colleagues who are working already with an industry, and they help us with the delivery. So during the project term, they give advice. We also invite some other facilitators during the program to give feedback. Also for the presentations, sometimes they have external people who are joining and giving feedback to the students on their project. So this is happening during the 20 weeks of the project work.
Yeah, fantastic. And just another little note that I wrote down. Can you give me an example of a business problem that a student would have to fix or resolve? Or
yeah, thanks for this question, Rob. Yeah, I've prepared a couple of examples here to talk about. The first one is about a problem with regards to the mental health and mental disorders on the organizations. Especially after COVID, I think many people have suffered some sort of mental disorder. And they might have some people who are having a history of mental disorder. So there is a data set here that we have sourced from an open platform, and it's a real data set. It's for, and it's collected from many different companies and different countries. It's mostly about the people who are working in the IT industry. It might be for public, but this one is specifically for IT industry. So what we do usually for this sort of data set, as you can see, it's an extensive data set with too many columns and rows. So we first prepare it. We do some sort of data wrangling. As I explained in the process of the data life cycle, we need to prepare this data. For instance, this is a student work, and they have prepared, cleaned up this data. They have done some transformation, have made it ready. And then the next stage, you try to explore it. You raise some questions. Okay, what we need, what kind of problem are we going to solve? You have some questions, and you start exploring your data. You're going through different aspects of data. If you can see, there are lots of visualizations, lots of tables that we are creating here. And we are answering many different questions, and we move forward. Some of these questions, I mean, they are easy questions. We can get immediate answers. Some of them are very in-depth questions. We need to do a lot of investigation, a lot of exploration, and maybe modeling. And sometimes we need to use more complicated sort of modeling to be able to extract something. We look at, for example, the country that people are living, what's the impact. If, for example, we have some people who are living in New Zealand or in Australia and United States, what's the proportion of the people who are having some sort of mental disorder? We look at different aspects. And then after we analyze data, we answer the major questions. We might end up with something like this. We want to communicate our findings to our audience. And this is going to, for example, to the company owners, the people who are going to make decisions. Okay, what can we do to improve mental health and people like our workers' well-being in our organizations? So this is a dashboard that this student has created. And in this dashboard, you can see it's we are visualizing the key points. We are trying to convey our key messages to our audience. And you can see here, this is designed in a very nice way, very kind of a good structure, layout, and there are some options here you can choose from. You can look at your data from different points of view. And this is giving us some sort of information and providing some sort of knowledge to be able to make decisions. For example, one of the issues here that we have identified is that in specific countries, we are having more people in the organization suffering mental disorders. So we probably need to have some sort of recommendations with respect to this. And also in specific roles. For example, people are working in role, I don't know, A or B, they are having more, they are more susceptible for mental disorder. Yeah, this is like a kind of product that we produce at the end of the project. This could be using Excel, or we could use Power BI, for example. This is another example for a different problem. It's about bicycle rental business. So this is another dashboard. You can see, for example, here how many bikes actually rented out, and what kind of people are they, members or casual, who are renting these bikes, and all this information. We can see different views of our data, and we can see some numbers, graphs here. This is again another product, obviously, that we can produce for this sort of problem.
It's amazing, great stuff. I would struggle with all this myself personally, so I might need to enroll on the program. So I might just jump back to Kavi for a second. So Kavi, what can you tell us more about the fees for the program, and how do you navigate around that?
Sure. I think, yeah, just to kind of capture what Farhad and team have been sharing. Firstly, just kind of looking as a student, okay, this looks quite impressive. Why should I do it? Or what's in it for me? Before we move on to sort of next steps, what you can do with this program, number one, is get better at what you're already doing. Okay, so if you're already working with data sets and you're working within an environment, it's flexible enough to adapt to different industries. To get better at what you're currently doing, this would be a great tool for that. Number two, if you're in line for a step up in your career, a little promotion that's on the horizon, or a little step up into management, this is a great way to kind of give yourself an edge. Kind of put your hands up, say, hey, I have the capability to work in a more with a bit more of an advanced mindset to make decisions that actually shape the business. And in the final set, it's people that just want to enter the industry. If people want to gain a little career switch, or heading into a sort of dead-end job where, okay, this has an expiry date at some point, where's my next career move? This is where you can start to prepare. It's an industry that's sort of future-proof, where if you look ahead to jobs that will be available in 2040, 2050, you are going to get AI-driven jobs. You're going to get technological jobs that are going to replace some of the more some of the roles that are more labor intensive, for example. So yeah, that's some of the few reasons to join the program. I think Farhad has really wowed me. These are some dashboards that I've seen for the first time, and I'm thinking, hey, Rob, I'm actually in your boat. Do I hook onto this to be able to present some of my work to my managers? Next sort of steps, one question before inquiring as well, when you start talking to us, you have a few different micro-credentials. You've got 3 different ones. Which is the right one for me? Okay, so you may think, okay, what is the AI powered analytics program, and how does that differ from this? Or what is analyzing and interpreting data, and how does that fit in here? Talk to us. Okay, we've got a few tools available, a few tests available. We can set up some time with our lecturers or Farhad to actually understand which is the most suitable program for you. So engagement is key. How do you engage? Our website is the best place, futureskills.co.nz. At the bottom, you've got those 3 little icons: inquire, book, call, or apply. If you see, hey, this is exactly what I need, I want to do this, I want to jump on, hit the apply button and get the application in. And that's the fastest way to get a student advisor, access to a student advisor. If not, inquire or book a call to find out a little more before you hit go on that application. Fees, okay? Each of our programs is valued at $1,800. That's the value of the program. It's actually double that, because to all New Zealand citizens and residents, a portion of your fees is covered by TEC, the Tertiary Education Commission. If you scroll a little up, Rob, you'd find that we have a little banner saying study for free. Yep, I'd like to hook on to that. Okay, so there's something called fees-free study that entitles all New Zealand citizens and permanent residents to a year free tertiary studies. So that goes up to 120 credits at levels 3 or above that you're entitled to free. Talk to us and try to find out, we can help identify whether you're eligible for that. If you're not eligible for that, and you do find fees as a barrier, we do have for a limited time a tech scholarship that it's called the Tech Talent Scholarship, I believe. That are on offer to those that would find the fees a bit challenging or would not be able to utilize a professional development budget, for example. So if you're doing this on your own accord and would like to upskill yourself and empower yourself, but have a little challenge with the fees, things are getting a bit tight now. So yeah, talk to us and we'll go through the scholarship process. And yeah, we can look at covering that fees for you. To all worthy candidates. There is a little pool available, so the plan is to get in now as soon as possible so that you can get your name on top of the list in terms of scholarships to get you in there. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
It's a limited time for that one too, the scholarships. So do jump in. Look, you guys can just email me directly or Kavi.
Yeah. And our next intake is on the 24th of July, Rob. So maybe just get in as early as possible because, yeah, spaces are limited. Once we cap that class, we're trying to get in as many as early as possible. So, yeah, basically book your place, secure your place.
There's probably 2 spots left, less because me and Kavi joined now because we figured out we need this. Same with you, Melissa. Hey, just one more thing, Farhad. I see that you had a couple of student projects that you wanted to share. So did you want to go through those? You're on mute as well, by the way, mate.
Yes, sure. I just shared the links with everyone if you would like to explore more about what our students have done before. I can refer to Syed's one. I guess I need to share my screen again, right?
Yeah, just quickly. We've got about 3 minutes left, Farhad. So
just quickly.
Just use the best one. To log in.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is like Syed who has done this course, and he's hoping that he can like step up the business intelligence role within his company. And like he has learned about SQL, about Power BI, Microsoft Excel in this course. Another one is Rita, who did a really good project on real estate problem. And what she did was to, create a dashboard based on real data. The project was really impressive. So we have lots of different examples and projects that students have completed, but we are also happy to have people in our sessions if they just want to pop in and see what's happening during the sessions as a guest or observer for half an hour or so. We can also organize it.
Great. Yeah, so there's plenty of success stories there. So I do recommend going to the Future Skills website, having a look what students have been doing and are doing, currently doing at the moment, because the potential could be you as well. So we'll be wrapping it up. We've got a few minutes left, but if you've got any questions, now's the time to pop them into the chat box there. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. If you find that you have got a question after the webinar, look, you can just email me directly and I'll pass you on to Kavi or Melissa or Farhad, any one of the recruitment team to about to answer that for you. We'll wrap it up now. So Kavi, Melissa, Farhad, is there anything that you'd like to say before we wrap up the webinar?
No, thank you for joining us. Please share news of this if you find value in this. Please share this with your family and friends. There will be recordings available afterwards to send out as well. And yeah, if you want to just join our program and get involved, just get in touch as soon as possible.
Thanks, Kavi. Melissa?
Just same as we totally agree. I hope that you guys can join us. It's a really, really rewarding experience. It's a really, really cool program. Like you've had a little bit of a glimpse of what's going on. Looks really, really mad, but really, really cool. So really hope that you guys can join us in July.
Great. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Farhad. So, once again, Feel free to send us an email if you've got any questions. Email me direct. We will be recording this and sending it out to everyone so you can rewatch it at a later date. And feel free to share it to your friends. But other than that, thank you so much for joining us today. And we'll see you in probably the next one shortly. So cheers, kia ora.
Kia ora.
Thanks.
Kia ora.
Thanks, Rob. Kia ora.
Bye-bye.